the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you.
The Lord's blessings are shining upon us this morning because the Lord knows that we are to be brothers and sisters to one another, una familia en Cristo. And it's a great honor and privilege for us in the Diocese of Tucson and ambos Nogales to welcome Cardinal Sean O'Malley, el arzobispo de Boston, que está con nosotros para celebrar esta Eucaristía. Muchas gracias. Celebrando con él, hay muchos obispos de nuestro país. Monsignor Ricardo Ramírez, el obispo emeritus de Las Cruces en New Mexico. Monsignor Cirilo Flores, del diócesis de San Diego en California. Monsignor Eusebio Elizondo, el obispo auxiliar en Seattle, archdiócesis de Seattle. Monsignor Oscar Cantu, el obispo de Las Cruces en New Mexico. Monsignor Luis Orama, el auxiliar en el arquidiócesis de Atlanta. Monsignor John Wester, el obispo del diócesis de Salt Lake City in Utah. Monsignor Mark Seitz, el obispo de El Paso en Texas. And un muy especial saludo a Monsignor Gerardo García, que es el obispo en Guatemala, que está con nosotros.
And celebrating also in prayer for comprehensive immigration reform in our country. Bishop Cacanis has already mentioned that Bishop Flores is here from Guatemala, and he has brought a letter from the president of the Bishops' Conference there, which I will read to you at this moment.
Luego lo puso sobre su cabalgadura, lo llevó a un mesón y cuidó de él. Al día siguiente sacó 2 denarios, se los dio al dueño del mesón y le dijo: cuida de él y lo que gastes de más te lo pagaré a mi regreso.
Muy buenos días a como siempre solía decir Cantinflas, gracias por permitirme compenetrar me siento muy compenetrados con todos ustedes. Y les digo que no estamos aquí de chiripa. Estamos aquí porque Dios quiere que estemos. Y no estamos solos. From all over Latin America. The vast majority of them did not have the advantage of legal status. Many of them came to the States, in great part fleeing the violent civil wars in Central America. I often share the story of my very first days at the Centro Católico, when I was visited by a man from El Salvador. He sat at my desk and he burst into tears as he handed me a letter from his wife back in El Salvador, who remonstrated him for having abandoned her and their 6 children to penury and starvation. When the man was finally able to compose himself, he explained to me that he had come to Washington, like so many, because of the war raging in his country, made it impossible to sustain his family by farming. So a coyote brought him to Washington. In those days it was the go now, pay later plan. They would charge half of the wages for months of every person that they brought. And if they didn't pay, their lives, the lives of their families were in danger. He came to Washington, where he shared a room with several men in similar circumstances. He washed dishes in 2 restaurants, one at noon and the other at dinner time. He told me he ate the leftover food on the plates so as to save money. He walked to work so as not to spend anything on transportation, so that he could send all of his money back to his family. He said that each week, after 6 months now, he'd been sending his wife a letter with all the money that he was able to work for, but she hadn't received any of the letters. I asked him if he sent checks or money orders. He said, "Oh no, Padre, I always send cash." He told me each week I put the money in an envelope with the amount of stamps that they told me I need, and I put it in that blue mailbox on the corner. And I looked out of my window, I could see the blue mailbox, but the problem was it wasn't a mailbox at all, it was just a fancy trash bin. This incident helped me to glimpse the hardships and the humiliations of so many immigrants who come to the States, fleeing from poverty and oppression, seeking a better life for their children. Sadly enough, many immigrants spend years without the opportunity to see their loved ones. Una vida mejor para sus hijos. Eso no es un crimen. Eso es un valor. Sí, estamos aquí en el desierto de Arizona para lamentar y llorar los muchísimos inmigrantes que han arriesgado sus vidas y muchos que han perdido sus vidas. Hoy queremos ser conscientes de los muchos detenidos, de los millares de detenidos. Muchos de ellos, la gran mayoría, sin ningún historial criminal, pero están en la cárcel, separados de sus seres queridos. Y es un derroche impensable del gobierno. Pagan billones de dólares para este programa que no sirve para nada. El sistema está roto y está causando semejante sufrimiento y un terrible desperdicio de recursos humanos y materiales. After the trick questions of the lawyer, Jesus says, "Who is the neighbor?" And the correct answer, the one who treated him with compassion. And Jesus says, "Go and do likewise." Transitorias, que más bien pongan su corazón en las que duran para siempre. Por eso con los ángeles y los arcángeles, y tomó pan, dándote gracias, lo partió y lo dio a sus discípulos, diciendo: toman y coman todos de él, porque esto es mi cuerpo que será entregado por
José Antonio Elena Rodríguez, que se murió aquí, por los miembros del Border Patrol que se murieron, por Rob Crins, un ranchero en Nogales que se murió, y de todos los que han muerto en tu misericordia, admítelos a contemplar la luz de tu rostro. Ten misericordia de todos nosotros, y así con María, la Virgen, Madre de Dios, San José su esposo, los apóstoles y cuantos vivieron en tu amistad. This young girl many who are in great pain. We met some of those yesterday at the Comedor and also in the shelter. So this is a serious question. It's a painful question. As we've said again and again, it is a moral question. And we'll try within the laws of our country to see what can be done to address Rosie's situation, her mom's situation, and all of those who are struggling with this problem of deportation.
Free Rosie! Free Rosie! The Pope made the call!
I was struck by the extreme dangers down here. We have air-conditioned buses and water and all this attention paid to us. I'm thinking of these poor people in the desert who died in the desert, who are so lonely. Why do they take such risks?